for U.S. News, the U.S. News section of The Guardian by Lauren Gambino in Los Angeles. The headline reads, U.S. Supreme Court effectively legalized racial profiling, immigration experts warn. The court ruled federal agents can stop people in LA based on race, language, job, or location amid Trump's crackdown. Tyrone Bowman live. Well, let's talk about this as written for The Guardian. Immigration advocates warn that the Supreme Court has, quote, effectively legalized racial profiling, end quote, granting federal agents the power to stop people in Los Angeles simply for speaking Spanish or appearing Latino, and opening the door, they say, to a broader unraveling of civil rights protections nationwide. In a 6-3 decision on Monday, the court's conservative majority lifted restrictions on roving immigration patrols across the LA area after a lower court found that federal agents were indiscriminately targeting people on the basis of race, language, employment, or location. The High Court's ruling alarmed civil liberties advocates and rattled immigrant communities in a county where 1 in 3 residents is foreign-born, and where the Trump administration's aggressive immigration enforcement has already seen armed and masked federal agents detain residents, including U.S. citizens, near bus stops, construction sites, churches, and other public spaces with little explanation or due process. At a news conference near Home Depot in a heavily Latino neighborhood of Los Angeles, where raids in June sparked massive protests, Mayor Karen Bass assailed the decision, saying the Supreme Court has now given the green light for law enforcement to profile and detain Angelenos based on their race, quote, close quote. Bass quoted from the forceful dissent issued by Justice Sonina Sotomayor, the first Latina voter to serve on the court, who warned, quote, we should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and appears to work a low-wage job, rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost. I dissent, end quote. I agree with her, I dissent, Bass said. We all dissent because from the beginning, we have known that Los Angeles has been used as a test case for total dominance and unchecked power by the federal government, quote, closed quote. The decision was released shortly before the Department of Homeland Security announced the start of a new immigration operation in Chicago on Monday. And as the Trump administration continues to carry out immigration stops in Washington, D.C., as part of its unprecedented takeover of the nation's capital. Monday's Supreme Court decision stems from a lawsuit challenging the tactics used in a series of aggressive immigration sweeps in the Los Angeles area. Plaintiffs argue that federal agents were targeting people without reasonable suspicion, in violation of the Fourth Amendment, which protects against unlawful searches and seizures. Well, that has been thrown out the door. In July, U.S. District Judge Mamie Iwusi Minsa Frimpong issued a temporary restraining order barring agents from stopping people based solely on 4 factors: alone or in combination, including race or ethnicity, speaking Spanish or accented English, being in certain public areas such as day labor sites, or the type of work they do. The administration celebrated the Supreme Court's ruling as a massive victory for Trump's aim to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in U.S. history. I'm going to end this segment by saying this. All that's happening in this nation could have been avoided. All the pain, the anguish, the heartache, the uneasiness, the shedding of tears, the protesting, if y'all simply would have listened. But vitriol hatred for a black woman becoming president of the United States caused y'all to vote for Trump. You can't deny it because you did. You campaigned for him. You wrote songs about him. You talked about how much you loved him because you hate black people. The majority of y'all do. Y'all hate black people because you don't want to consider to be black. Because listen, I'm going to put it to you this way. As a criminal justice major, as a law student, and as a intern who works in court, I see all kind of documents. And you know what the Hispanics and the Latinos check off? White, 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 white. Because they think it's going to benefit them. Well, how's it working out for you? How is your hatred and disdain for black people working out for you? You should have voted for Kamala Harris while you had the chance. Too little, too late. Never surrender. Never quit.